We are going to see IPv6. All these days in the previous chapters, we were talking about IPv4 address. IPv4 is nothing but Internet Protocol version 4. It is of 32-bit length. Since nowadays all are using internet connection, it is not possible for us to provide the IP address, that is IPv4 address, to all the population, the entire population of the universe. We would not, it would not be sufficient to provide if it is going to be 32-bit address. So we went to the next version called IPv6. We are gradually moving. Okay, it is not possible in a day to move from IPv4 to v6. So gradually we are replacing the IPv4 with the IPv6, which is of the 64-bit length. So it will be sufficient to provide addresses to the population. So since it is 64-bit and its header format, the that is datagram format, we have some advantages. That is fixed length 40-bit header is there, which helps us to forward the data faster. That is header processing is faster. So the packets can also be can be moved to the destination faster if we are going to use IPv6. And fragmentation is not allowed here. That is another problem in IPv6, but in IPv4 we have this facility. uh, as I said already, the ultimate purpose of going with the IPv6 is to provide the address space to all the universe. Yes, as I said, the advantages are header format helps speed processing and forwarding. Header changes to facilitate QoS. Yes, QoS facility can be given with the help of IPv6. Quality of the service. Okay, so this is the IPv6 datagram format. If you see the fields, it is version, priority, and the flow label. What is version? Version is nothing but we have to mention in the header whether we are going to use IPv4 address or IPv6 address. So if it's going to be v4, the version should be 4, else 6. And priority, so the priority identifies the priority of the datagrams that it has to be forwarded. How the priority is decided is, in the priority we have to mention whether it is a multimedia data or other one, or emergency data. So like that we have to mention in the priority, so that the rate at which the forwarding is done will be speed up. Next, flow label, it identifies datagram in same flow. So flow is nothing but the audio video data are called as flow, and whichever is used for animations. The data like file transfer, these are all called as email and all, will not come under flow. So we have to mention whether it is a video or audio, multimedia data or not. That's it. Next, header. So next, header is nothing but it helps to reassemble the data at the destination. So it will give the next header's address. Next comes hop limit. So hop limit says that how many intermediate hops that packet can travel. So if it is mentioned in the hop limit that it should this datagram should travel only 5 hops, then what we have to do is, what the actually networks does is, once it reaches that fifth intermediate node, the hop limit will be, and it will check with the hop limit. If it goes to the next node, it will be dropped, the datagram will be dropped, because in the header the limit is set as 5. So if it exceeds, if the intermediate hops exceeds the limit 5, then the packet will be, or datagram will be dropped. Next comes source address and the destination address. Here source address should be mentioned, source node's address, and in the destination address should be maintained, then data should be appended. So this is what about the header. And here there is no checksum field, options are not there. And ICMP v6, new version of the ICMP, additional message types, that is packet too big, multicast, group management functions all are added. That is another advantage. And as I said already, we cannot move overnight to IPv6, so gradually it is moved. So if you see in our practical life, we'll be having we'll be having some addresses as IPv4 and some addresses as IPv6. So if I am the source and you are the destination, I'm using IPv4 and you are using IPv6, and the intermediate nodes are using both IPv4 and the IPv6, then what will happen? How the data will be forwarded? Whether the IPv4 system can understand, or IPv4 routers can understand the IPv6 datagram header format, or IPv6 can understand IPv4's header format. So if you have this sort of question, this is the forthcoming slides will be the answer for this. So how we are going to overcome this problem is by two ways. One is dual stack approach and the other one is tunneling approach. In the dual stack approach, what happens? We are going to take the header and just copy the header information. If it is going to be IPv6, the source is IPv6 and the destination is IPv4. Sorry, destination is also IPv6, but the intermediate node between the IPv4, between the source and the destination is IPv4 supporting router. Means what we have to do is, so the whatever IPv6 data was there in the header, that should be copied into the IPv4's header, and it will be sent, or it will be forwarded to the next intermediate router. So what happens in the dual stack approach? The data, the header, in the header whatever data was there, when it is copied to the IPv4's header, sometimes the data will get lost. That is the problem of dual stack approach. So we stopped using the dual stack approach since the data loss, since the data header data was missing when it was copied from the IPv6 header to the IPv4 header when it is forwarded to the IPv4 routers. So in order to avoid this data loss in the header, we went to the next process, next method, that is tunneling, in which they are not going to copy and paste the header data. Instead, they will take the IPv6 header and they will put it into the, it will act as an envelope. Okay, they will put the IPv6 IPv6 datagram into the IPv4. That is, it will be encapsulated with the IPv4 datagram, and it will be sent to the next node, which is of IPv4. See here, if you can understand with this diagram, here the source node is IPv6 supporting node. It supports IPv6 address, and the destination nodes also supports IPv6. But if you check the intermediate nodes through which it should be passed, these two are IPv4. It can understand only IPv4 address or header format. Then what happens when I'm sending the data? The source sends the data. Since it is the next intermediate node is IPv6 supporting router, it will just forward the same datagram to node B. Sorry, router B. Next, it finds the next router. It finds that next router can support only IPv4 header format. It can understand only IPv4 header format. So what it does, it takes the IPv6 datagram and it puts it into the IPv4 datagram. It is like envelope. The IPv4, it inserts the IPv6 datagram into the IPv4, in which IPv4 header fields will be there. So when this datagram reaches IPv4, this router C will check the header fields of IPv4. That is because it can understand the IPv4 header, so it checks the source and destination fields and it forwards again to the node D. Since that is also IPv4, the same thing is forwarded. It can understand the IPv4 header format. But when it reaches this IPv6, it should be decapsulated. So from this envelope, it will be taken out. Only IPv6 packet will reach the node, intermediate node F, and again it will be destined to the node F. Since node F, destination node F is also IPv6 understandable node, it can take the packet directly. So this process in which the IPv6 datagram is inserted into the envelope of IPv4 header format, it is called tunneling. Just we are encapsulating the IPv6 into the IPv4 with the IPv4 header format. We call it as tunneling. So this is how we can transfer the packets between the source and destination through the intermediate nodes, which may have both IPv4 and the IPv6 data, understandable, like IPv6 address, understandable routers. So with this, I'm finishing this video. Thank you. Bye.